Merrifield and Pilcher, Doctors Medical Center, Piggly Wiggly, CCB Bank, and Florida Blue Cross Blue Shield here in the Funiac Springs. And Coach, it was quite an interesting game last Friday night. Senior night, a salute to the seniors. I watched you taking pictures of yourself, and I know you feel like you're a part of them boys' lives, and we know you are, and they'll always know Coach White in them even after we're gone. They'll remember that you were there for them, and it was good to see that, and to see them come out, of course, with the cheerleaders and the band and all the seniors they saluted Friday night. And it just seemed fitting that the game clicked. Everything seemed to click so well Friday night there at Yates Memorial. Your take on what happened Friday night?
Yeah, probably our best game of the season. You know, it was a big night. We got 24 seniors, and they were really excited. We had a very good game plan, and like I said, offensively and defensively, you know, it's probably the only game we might not have won the special teams battle, because we usually run a punt back or a kickoff back or something like that we worked really hard on. But it was really total domination on the defensive side of the ball, and I don't think they stopped us but one time late in the fourth quarter. But it was just, you know, defensive effort. We had 2 fourth down stops inside of our 5. That was huge to kind of turn the game. Had several young kids starting to really feel themselves now because they played a full season now. We had 4 10th graders starting on the defensive side of the ball Friday night, and you know, they're all playing really big, and it's been fun to watch.
It was really an exciting game here with Blountstown coming to Yates Memorial. Of course, we ended up with 48 points, and they ended up with 7 points. But the first quarter, it was a lot closer than that, it seemed. But by the second quarter, hands on hips there for Blountstown. You could tell that we were really wearing them down. And of course, Wells was throwing that ball, and they were second guessing. And so it just was a whole team effort. It looked really, really good. And like you said, it just seemed like the team clicked. The lights were on, and everybody was paying attention. Everybody was knowing what they're supposed to be doing, and they were doing their job. And I know with you guys, the coaches there, when you see them doing that, that makes you feel good, because you pounded them day after day after day. You know, this is what you have to do. This is your job. This is your job. For this one to work, this one's got to work. You know, it's a team thing out there. It's a football team. You know, it's not like a solo sport.
Well, we had challenged the seniors real hard, and some of the underclassmen to really help them out. Our seniors, it's an amazing stat that I want to give to you, is our seniors on that field. That's the first group I started with as freshmen, because I've been there 4 years now. So I've spent all 4 years with this group, and on that field during the regular season game, they're 22-1.
22-1.
22-1 on that field over a 4-year span. If you count playoffs and all regular season games together, they're 23-3.
23-3.
But for a 4-year span of regular season, you know, they've never lost a game on that field in the last 2 years in a row during the regular season.
In a regular season.
So it's pretty amazing, and that group is overall they're 37-10. So for 4 years. So it's made the playoffs all 4 years. You know, it's just a great group to look at and to be appreciative of, and we're very fortunate to have them in our town and in our community, and the way they represent us. And you know, they're not like, there's no trouble kids. You know, it's been a really good group.
So 4 years now.
4 years.
So as you look back on the 4 years, you feel like you made the right decision to come on into the Funiac.
Oh yeah, it's been a great little run. I just, you know, once you've done it for as long as I had done it, you know, for 28 years, it was kind of like, well, do you want to take this on and try it or not? And I'm glad I did. Glad we decided to, you know, remove the family over and did everything. But it's been fun. It's been a big challenge, you know, to try to change the culture and reach young men and try to make them better. And the production has been very good. I hope everybody's enjoyed it.
Well, we could say throughout this year and through the years you've been here, I mean, this year, seeing those young men baptized on that Sunday afternoon out there on the field, that just speaks well of what you've put together over the last 4 years, and the group of coaches you've got with you, and y'all's mindset is developing young men, not only on the football field, but, you know, for life. And it shows on the football field too, and you can tell it by attitude and things of that sort. So last 4 years coming here and haven't watched Walton football for a while, and a lot of folks come and talk to me about a lot of things and how much they appreciate you. Well, we'll talk more about what's happening. That was actually Bluntstown was the end of our regular season, and remember we had talked back a couple of weeks ago, we might try to find another team, but that didn't happen, I don't guess.
No, we've tried. We've reached out to several schools. You know, we tried to find some teams that was going into the playoffs that might want to play that would help their seeding or help our seeding. You know, depending on who won or what.
Right.
But nobody has shown interest. You know, we're just trying to prepare this week as a bye week. We were still, if anybody wants to play, we'll play you Thursday night. We'll play you Thursday night if you want to play and you listen. Come on out and we'll play. We'll tee it up one more time. But you know, we'll do whatever we got to do to get ready for Thursday night. But right now we've had no takers and we've reached out to about 7 or 8 schools.
All right, well that's good. All right, what we're going to do is we're going to take a little break here. Glad to have the folks, I guess, up on YouTube. Probably can't hear us.
I can.
Can they hear us over that, you think?
Yeah.
Barely? Okay. But we're glad to have them on YouTube tonight too. So Coach says, you know, you got a team out there who wants to play, and give them a call there at high school tomorrow. We'll hook you up Thursday night right here at Yates Memorial. We're going to take a 2-minute break here. We'll come back with more Cafe Nola. Okay.
Dad.
Chipley, Destin. We
Just reached out there where you thought you might be able to get somebody to
Well, I
jump
thought
in
if they
there.
was in the playoffs, and, people that, play 10 games, they can't play.
Right.
If they only had 9, though, they could play, and I thought if they was in the playoffs, it may help their,
Standings, right?
so I don't know. We know it would help ours if we could play and win. Now, you ain't guaranteed to win,
Right.
but, if we were 7-3, it would help us better than,
The
Yeah,
6
so-
and 3, but
yeah. But we don't know. We won't know. I know. Taylor County got beat Monday night,
1 minute.
so that'll help us. But Florida High beat dadgum Mosley.
oh, did they really?
That hurt. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Our number 5 ranked team, 5-seeded team beats the number 1 team in the state. That's how tough our region is.
Jeez. Jeez.
Yeah, they beat Mosley. They beat Mosley Friday night.
Bad?
It wasn't bad.
It wasn't bad.
But they beat them.
95-35. Trump's in the lead right now.
95-35.
30 seconds.
Wow.
That's pretty amazing. That freshman you're doing.
You what now?
22-1
Oh, that's
on that field in 4-year span.
when I think back to the past.
Good.
Some of the other things, but it's amazing. Amazing. And welcome back to Coach's Corner here on WZEP AM 1460 and also on ZEP's YouTube channel out there. We've got the playoffs coming up, and of course the Braves are in the playoffs, and everybody's asking, who we going to play? Who we going to play? And I was like, well, it's not determined yet. It'll take Thursday night, I guess, when that's the final night to be able to play any of the high school games, right?
Yeah, they're gonna come out with it December the 9th, which is Saturday, probably around 2:00.
November 9th.
November the 9th.
November 9th. December.
My fault. November.
We're already getting into December. Yeah, there we
November
go.
the 9th, Saturday, probably about 2:00.
So, mindset, we looking, who do you think could actually roll up there?
Well, with Florida High winning Friday night against Mosley, they're gonna probably lock up their seed, and then you've got the 4 district champions, so they're gonna lock it up. So we're looking at either Pensacola Catholic as a possibility, Jacksonville Bowls as a possibility, and I think that's probably down to just them 2. It could have been another one, but I think it's gonna be down to Jacksonville Bowls or Pensacola Catholic.
But Mosley was ranked 1, right?
Mosley was ranked number 1 in 5A.
And then they got beat.
We got beat by Florida High Friday night.
So that just stirred the pot up even more.
We would have loved for Florida High to lose that game, but they ended up beating them, and so that really helped them.
So it now looks like a trip to maybe Pensacola or all the way to Jacksonville.
One of those two.
And boy, is that a long ride to Jacksonville.
Yeah.
To Bowles High over there. That's quite different. Of course,
yeah.
a couple of little private schools now. Again,
Yeah.
it's always tough when you play those private schools. And of course, that's the way it is across the whole state of Florida, you know. And I know there's a lot of coaches that probably feel like some of the rest of us do, that there ought to be a little difference there. Public schools play public schools, private schools play private schools. That's just a lot of feeling that it's a lot out here. And you folks who feel that way, you see Shane Abbott and some of those fellows are.
A legislator won't allow that to happen.
No. So you have to get on them and tell them, listen, it doesn't seem fair.
Yeah.
I mean, we can't go out and, you know, recruit these players like that, move their families to town. Oh, that doesn't happen. Yes, it does. But, you know, that's where you're voiced, you know, like today, it says I voted right here on my little shirt here. You know, we have to vote. But, you know, when you see these people you vote for, you ever get a chance? I mean, presidential people, a lot of those we'll never get a chance to see, meet, or talk to. It's just the way things are. But when you look back at the state, you get a chance to meet the governor or one of the, you know, senators or congressmen or state representatives. Talk to them. Tell them how you feel. Tell them what you're thinking. Because unless you tell them, they don't know.
No.
They've got their own opinion. But if 40 people come up to, say, Shane there and start telling him something, well, he's going to have that in the back of his mind. It's going to be a question he may ask when he gets to Tallahassee. So, you know, it has to do with football. I mean, the legislature of the state of Florida, all up in high school football, do not understand. You know, we got politicians in our business enough. We sure don't need it in high school football, but it is there. So you want to change it, you got to talk to the folks that are in Tallahassee. So you can talk to me all you want to. I'll fuss and tell about it on the air like I have now. But you've got to talk to those folks. So
well, we did a little stat. It was a pretty good thing from a coach over in Pensacola. You know, the state championship this year is in Miami. Okay.
Okay.
So if you're a team from Pensacola, do you know you could go to Texas and play a football game closer than you could go play in your own state championship game?
Yep. Yep.
If you're in Pensacola, the mileage from there to where they're hosting to Miami is further than going to Texas.
Than going like Houston or Dallas.
That's in our state, our own state.
Yep. That's how long.
That's where they're having the state championships at. That's just unheard of. I mean, that's just incredible.
And I mean, you think these kids, if say a team, say Pensacola has to go to Miami, look at the ride they got to go. So do they go a day early? You got more expense than the expense. I know talking to you in years past when we rented buses to go down to Central Florida, how much it was. And I'm sure it's a lot more now than it was then over the last 3 or 4 years because things have really went up. So the expense, and I mean, it just seems like there'd be a more neutral place, you know. I mean, build a big stadium in Lake City or something, you know, and then everybody could travel to Lake City.
It's incredible.
And that way you might get some of those poor teams out of Georgia come down and watch.
Well, they don't really want I don't think they really want the North Florida schools, you know, the Northwest Florida, the North Florida schools. I don't think they want to, you know, in everything.
Yeah.
You know, we're just kind of part of the upper state that don't matter.
Yeah, as the old saying is, we're LA, Lower Alabama through the Panhandle here. Yeah. But we got a lot of good folks in the Panhandle, and I wish the rest of the state knew just how good they are up here. But, you know, it is what it is. We're going to take another 2-minute break here, Gary, and then we'll come back and talk a little more high school football and maybe a little politics. We don't know. We'll get into something.
Oh.
It's 9 hours away from here to Miami.
Yep, 9 hours.
Check the mileage.
What?
Check the mileage.
Check the mileage from here to Miami, and then check the mileage from here to the Texas state line.
Yeah.
You're talking about going through 5 states.
It's 631 miles to Miami, right?
Okay.
Texas.
That's about as far as we went to Wichita.
631 miles.
I got it tracking right now. See how far Texas is.
500 something.
Orange, Texas.
It's incredible.
And we drove out there. Less than 6 hours. We were in West Monroe, Louisiana, and that's northern
You think we have to
Louisiana.
go?
You know,
You got to go through Alabama. You got to go through Mississippi.
Mississippi,
You got to go through Louisiana
Meta,
into Texas.
into Texas.
It's to the state line of Texas. It is 7 hours and 49 minutes. 521 miles, over 100 less miles.
100 less miles.
To play in your own state championship.
Yeah,
30 seconds.
we could travel across 3 states, 4 states. That's true. 4. Wow.
Florida, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, into Texas.
Into Texas.
And you're gonna play in your own state.
Wow. Crazy.
Can't make it up. That's our FHSA people.
Yeah.
10.
And welcome back to Coach's Corner here on WZEP AM 1460 and on ZEP's YouTube. Of course, today is election day, and a lot of people are wondering about that. And after we get through with Coach's Corner tonight, I'm sure Gary will have some updates on local races. Of course, California, it'll be after 10 o'clock tonight, our time, by the time their polls close out in California. So that'll all be decided, I guess, maybe tomorrow. And I've heard somewhere it said takes 2 or 3 weeks to really count the ballots. And I'm like, well, how do they determine there's a winner if it's going to take another couple of weeks to count the ballots? I don't know. It is what it is, folks. And just like we were talking about the legislature involved in high school football. And we just checked, Coach, had Joseph check it. There was how many miles from here to Miami? Did he say 700? 631 to Miami.
Texas state line was 541.
541 miles to the Texas state line. It means we're going to go across, out of Florida, into Alabama, into Mississippi, into Louisiana, and then into Texas. Think about that a minute, folks. We'll be all the way in Texas. It'd be the same as driving all the way to Miami.
Before you get to Miami.
Before you get to Miami.
2 hours shorter.
2 hours shorter. So 2 hours across the Texas line would put you past Orange, Texas, I would think, into going towards Houston. Wow. Wow. And can you imagine loading a bunch of young high school boys up, taking them down that far after they've been to school and playing a playoff game? And you might play a school out of Miami.
That's correct.
And they don't have to go nowhere. Just sit right there.
Mm-hmm.
Or at the worst, Orlando. It's not that far.
No. I mean, just middle of the state. I mean,
Yeah.
let's just make it central.
Wow.
Put it in the central part of the state.
Yeah, like I said, let's throw it in Lake City. Just build a big stadium there to have the high school playoffs. There's plenty of money in the state of Florida they waste doing other things. Why not build a nice facility there, and maybe they could use it for other things too. They can do that these days, multiple events in them. I want to mention some things here, Coach. It doesn't have anything to do with football. It's some of the stuff Ernie's got going on. He's got Christmas with Frank coming back again. That's Josh Certain and his Frank Sinatra tribute show. If you've never seen Josh, I'm telling you, he does a great impersonation of Frank. He sounds like him. He's got body movements. He does all the little things. And I want to tell you, Josh is such a nice young man. When I say young, you look at him and you think he's about 20 years old, but he's probably around 40 maybe. But he does a fantastic job. And Ernie's going to have him back here on December the 7th from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Tickets are going to be $35 a person, which includes a 3-course dinner, dessert, and dancing. There will be a cash bar available. Kids under 12 are $15. There'll be a kids menu available too. They're going to do a room special here at Hotel, the Funiac. $100. It's a limited availability. So if you're interested in that, you want to make reservations for the room or for the tickets for the Frank Sinatra tribute and the room, give them a call here, 850-610-8800, or go to Chef Ernie at cafenola.net. And I wanted to mention that for Ernie. That's coming up. Ernie's been good to us over the years, and we come in and take over his part of his building here, and he feeds us, and we want to tell him how much we appreciate him. And he always comes in, wants to talk to Coach. And of course, he's got to do IE before he leaves. That's old Ernie. And I want to mention this too, right quick. He just posted this today on his on Facebook. Cafe Nola's Cajun fried turkeys and sides coming up for the holidays. Now you got to realize this is November. We're only a few weeks away from Thanksgiving, and not that far from Christmas. I think we're 50 days from Christmas, if my wife told me right today. So it's close. So Ernie's going to do the Cajun fried turkey this year, au gratin potatoes, andouille cornbread stuffing, green bean casserole, cranberry sauce, a praline pecan pie. You can buy all of those individually. Our Ernie's got a thing down here. It's Chef Ernie's Complete Turkey Dinner. Now, it's enough for a family of 8. You get 1 Cajun fried turkey, half pans of green bean casserole, an andouille cornbread stuffing, and au gratin potatoes, a pint of cranberry sauce, and a praline pecan pie. Now, last year, we had one of Chef Ernie's fried turkeys, and buddy, that thing was good. And we had some of the other goodies, too. I'll tell you one thing, that praline pecan pie, yes, sir, that's fine stuff. Just like the andouille cornbread stuffing, the green bean casserole. And you just contact Ernie here. Delivery will be available for your holiday parties. So if you want to do a holiday party, get with Chef Ernie here at Cafe Nola, 850-610-8800, or Chef Ernie at cafenola.net. So I just told Ernie I would help him out with that tonight, and he's going to be doing some new commercials for the radio station tomorrow, and you'll be hearing about it on the air. But I just wanted to do it tonight on Coach's Corner and tell him how much we appreciate what he does, just like what we do with Coach White. So we discussed the playoffs at the very end is all the way in Miami. Now, that's a thought, if we can get to Miami.
Yeah.
But there's a long road ahead.
Yes, sir. Gonna be a tough road.
Going to be a tough road. And with Florida High beating Mosley and stirring the mess up a little bit, there's a pot, I would say. It's made things different. So now we've got 2 tough ones to face. We haven't faced bowls. It's been a while since we've had to face bowls. I know in the past it was not good when we had to go to Jacksonville and play bowls, because it's a totally different monster over there than it is, right here in our own area, Bonifay, Chipley, Panama City. You go over there, it's totally different. There's big towns, they got big schools, got all this, and it makes it tough, as I say, for us small guys to compete sometimes.
Oh yeah, yeah. Total different world over there.
And it's sad, for the kids, to me, and for you as your coaches. You put your heart in it, but then money comes out to be the thing again. Of course, there's another lesson to teach the boys.
That's correct.
Down in life, as you get out of the real world. I saw a young man tonight that my wife saw. She hadn't seen him in a long time, I guess, since he graduated high school, and she couldn't believe how old he was. But she says, I just hadn't seen you from high school. He says, yeah, I wished I was back at high school. And I said, really? He says, well, life's tough, isn't it? And I said, yeah, you think about, you just want to get out of high school. And I said, but when you get out, you get in the real world at work, and you things that life throws at you. I said, it really makes you think back to when you was in high school and how much you appreciate what your parents did.
Oh yeah.
And what a good time it really was for you during that time.
The freedom, the no bills.
The no bills, but not the complexities of life that come upon you.
A home to always go to, with mom and daddy there.
Yep.
Somebody cook a good meal.
Yes, sir. Wash them clothes for you, maybe iron them for you, whatever, or just to sit down and talk with them. So, we got Joseph, who graduated last year, sitting here waiting to go in the military, and I'm sure he'll have some changes in his life as he progresses. He gets older. He'll look back and he'll think about it. I know already he kind of wishes he was still back in high school, but it's life and it moves on. And it's like football. It moves on. We've got a lot of seniors this year disappearing and going to be graduating, and then they'll be next year. And we'll be talking Walton football next year. And then you'll have had these kids too.
Oh, yeah.
Coming up. I've been with them all these 4 years. So I know you've probably been checking out some of the kids from the middle school, and they'll be coming over to the high school, and all that'll change. But right now, we've got to worry about a playoff game coming up. We won't know, like he said, till this Saturday?
This Saturday.
This Saturday. And as soon as we find out anything, we'll try to let you guys know. And I don't know if Coach wants to do another show Tuesday night as we get prepped for the playoffs. I kind of leave that up to him. But because I know he's going to be, of course, with this time change, I was like, normally Coach would be on the field now and it'd be 6 o'clock, but at 5 o'clock it was dark. So
we've moved to the game field under the lights.
So you've got the lights on good.
Yeah. So we've moved to the game field. We've left the practice field, kind of turned it over to the soccer program, and we've moved over to the game field because we got to keep practicing.
Got to keep practicing. That playoff game's coming up, and if we play Catholic, we've already been to Catholic. We know what that's like over there. It's a tough field. We know Bowls, they're tough in every sport they have over there. Like we were talking about, these schools are able to recruit a lot different than, say, a public school. We don't get that option, We take from the kids that are there, and y'all have done a phenomenal job and appreciate all that you've done. Anything else you'd like to talk about as far as what's going on this year in our season? Kids you've seen really develop? And,
we've just had, we started off the year with so many injuries, and then we've had so many young kids, and it's been fun to watch the young kids, like the other night, starting 4th, 10th graders on the defense, and the young man that was carrying the ball, Dylan Lutham, he's a 10th grader, and he went for over 200 yards rushing the other night. I mean, just to see these young guys develop and to grow and to fit in with all of our seniors and really contribute and help, it's been really good. And now they've become, high school varsity football players at a young age, but they're so experienced now after a full season, and I think they're going, I know they're going to do their best. I know they're going to try the hardest. And Friday night was it was kind of like it all come together. And so if we can catch our second wind and stay motivated and hungry on what we do, I just look forward to these playoffs.
Yeah, looking for the playoffs. So you folks out there in Radio Land and on YouTube, like we said, know hopefully more by Saturday. And we'll kind of let you know as soon as we find out what's going on. So you folks make preparations to go and watch the Braves as they go to the playoffs, whether we go to Jacksonville or we go to Pensacola. If we end up all the way to the end to Miami, that would be a long trip, but it would be a fun trip for a lot of these kids and for some of the rest of us to go down and watch them play. But right now, we're going to say go Braves because we're rooting for the boys and we're rooting for all the coaches there. And it's just part of high school football. It's been an interesting year. Hurricane in the middle of everything. And, we lose one game that we didn't get to play. And, just the way things work out sometimes and Mother Nature. But, and I was telling Coach earlier, we've got another storm out there that's a tropical storm. But it looks like it's going to go more into Louisiana, but probably bring some rain in our area here over the weekend, maybe Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And, of course, we can use some rain here. It's pretty dry. I know Coach said he had a little rain last night at his house, and I did at mine. But today I looked, and the ground's still really dusty, so it wasn't much. But, we'll take what we get. But, this weekend may be rainy, so then maybe the next weekend, into the playoffs. Maybe it'll be a rain-free weekend wherever we have to head. Any other insights?
No, just like our winter sports are starting off. They're fixing to get kicked off. Boys and girls soccer, boys and girls basketball, girls weightlifting. So I encourage everybody to come out and see the young men and some young women as they play it. I know everybody loves football and they love our town and our community, but come on out and support the basketball teams and the soccer teams and our girls weightlifting. And I know they all appreciate it.
I know if you folks that go to the home games, that they pass these out there. It says Walton football on there. And, Mr. Ken Jackson, he went into the Hall of Fame this year, and he deserves every bit of it. But he always writes a little article on the back. And with you saying what you did, there's this little thing he had on there Friday night. It says, as the 24 regular season ends tonight, we hope that you have enjoyed our game night information guide. Continued support and assistance of Lance Anderson Jr., which we want to thank him too. It's handled the printing of the Walton game publication this year. says the Walton Braves Sports Club is proud to be part of the long athletic history of Walton High. We encourage you to support the academic and athletic programs at Walton High School throughout the remainder of the 24 and 25 season. And I saw that Friday night. I was like, man, I'm proud to see that.
Yeah.
And you just mentioned it, Not only, you love football, go watch some basketball. I had a chance last night to watch the Warriors from the middle school, and they won their game last night.
Good job.
And it was a battle there for a while, back and forth. And kind of like Friday night with the Braves, I saw the Warriors last night click and come together on that basketball court and win that game. And the coach was up. He was jumping. He was excited. The kids were excited. And, it's always, these are the kids that's going to be coming up. They're eighth graders that I watched last night. Next year, they'll be over there with you at the high school, coach. And there's some athletic youngins on that basketball team. And some of them may play football for all I know.
Right.
So, looks like, a bunch of kids there, and it clicked last night. So, that's a good thing. It's all about, sports here in Walton County. So get out and support the Braves, support the younger ones over there in the middle school and activities over at the elementary schools here. We got some great elementary schools from Paxton out to Mossy Head, all the way down to the south end, wherever your kids, your grandkids may be going, go out and try to support them. And it's important. They had a great crowd last night. We ended up playing at Butler, and it was against Seaside. Well, Seaside had a great turnout of parents there. I'll tell you, they turned out for the junior varsity and the varsity game. And it kind of reminded me of what we do for high school. And I was like, there was, a good bit of parents from up here. But I thought, well, we need more, So you folks that have kids at the middle school, if you can make arrangements, go and support those kids too. Because next year, especially the varsity, they'll be at the high school. I know you're going to want to show up over there to help them out too. Well, Coach, it's been a great year. Our record ended up, 6-3. Lost a game to Mariana and to Catholic and to Crestview. And those games were all interesting there that we lost. There was a lot of things went on in those games. And so I'm going to kind of leave it at that. But, and we're looking forward to next year. But right now, we've got at least one more game coming up. We hope more, but we've got one coming. And who will it be? Could it be Bowles? Could it be Catholic? We'll have to wait till after Saturday. Well, till Saturday. Hopefully they'll let us know Saturday.
Yeah, we'll know Saturday.
And then we'll prepare for that game and let you know where you'll have to go to watch that game, whether it be Pensacola or all the way to Jayville. And that's a long little ride. Well, Coach, congratulations for this season. Congratulations on what'd you say, 20-2?
22-1.
22-1 regular season.
For this senior class.
For this senior class out at Yates Memorial. Man, oh man, what a record that is. Wow. It's just, that's shining football for Walton High School. That's all I've got to say. Well, Gary, I'm sure we've got a few more commercials there. If you want to roll those real quick and finish those up and come back to us, and then we'll do a little wind up here real quick. Wow. 22-1. Jeez.
What?
I said 22-1 in our field.
Regular season. 4 years. Counting the playoffs, it's 23-3.
And of course, in the playoffs, who do we have to play? Private school.
Played Florida High played Florida High. One of them was a loss.
Mm-hmm.
Catholic was one of the losses.
Yeah.
And West Florida Tech, my second year.
Yeah.
That's the only regular season game we've lost in 4 years.
Yeah. And look who they are. It's just wrong.
Just a tough region.
Yeah.
Tough place to play. Tough
just
place
wrong.
to be with our size,
Yeah. It's just
If
wrong.
we was 3A, if we was in 3A, we wouldn't have no private schools, or if we was in the rural league, we'd be
Yeah.
fine.
But where we're at, we catch it all.
Mm-hmm. That's correct. Right in the middle.
Right in the middle. Jeez. But hey, we ain't got nothing to hang our heads about. We bring it to all of them Just show up. That's all you ask. You're going to know you've been there.
Yep.
One minute.
If I took this cup at my house on any of my tables, it'd leave a ring.
Yeah, that's why I try to keep wiping to keep this off of this one.
It don't take long on my stuff. I don't know why. And I wax it, put all the other gunk on it still. I don't know. Maybe mine's really old. It should have more in it because it's soaked in the wood.
5.
All right, welcome back to Coach's Corner. It's the 24-25 last game and last Coach's Corner of the season. So, hey. So, Coach, we appreciate you being with us this year and letting us be a part of Walton High School football. Like we said earlier, Saturday we'll know. Anything else you'd like to pass along to the audience out there?
No, we appreciate all y'all do, for coming out and supporting us, for broadcasting these games on TV, for broadcasting them. There's so many people that get to hear the game and watch the game because of what y'all do that maybe don't have the help to come out or the travel, living somewhere else. So what y'all do for our town and our community, these young men, I know y'all don't get the credit you deserve, but we sure appreciate you. We thank you, and we'll always be brave.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, we're not looking for any praise. We just like doing it, and we know there's people out there that, like you mentioned, and we want to make sure that they have a chance to enjoy the Braves too, because a lot of those folks went to school there. Might have been 40 years ago, or 50 or 60 years ago, but they still would like to be part of the Braves. Well, we'd like to say thank you once again, and thanks to our sponsors, Florida Blue Cross Blue Shield, CCB Bank, Piggly Wiggly, Doctors Medical Center, Merrifield and Pilcher, Southern Owner Services, Thriftway Supermarket, Triangle Chevrolet Buick, Cafe Nola, and Rhodes Jewelers. So for Coach's Corner 2024-2025 regular season, good night from Coach White. Good night from Tom. Good night from Joseph. Good night from Gary back at the studios. And we're going to say, go Braves,
Go
right?
Braves. Thanks, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Are you looking for Daddy?
You getting ready, huh?
Getting ready for Daddy to come out?